होती है नहीं।
जस्ट इसको अपना म्यूट कर दीजिए अभी।
देख लें क्योंकि स्टार्ट वीडियो भी करके देख लें। हाँ ठीक है
मैम
लेकिन
आपकी आवाज आ रही है मैम इसमें, सो म्यूट करिए मैम कॉल है।
यहाँ बैठना और सवित्र को फोन करके बेचारे कल दोनों दौड़े दौड़े आए, मैं कहा चले गए निकल के कह रहे अरे कब निकल गए, मैंने कल आपको फोन कर दूंगी सर। बैंक पहुंचे थे तो फोन किए हम क्या कह रहे हैं भाग्य तो मैंने कहा चले गए जल्दी काम था उनको।
बापू के अंदर का भी मन करे वो बताओ मन करे
स्टार्ट कर। हाँ बोल दिए।
ठीक है ठीक है।
ओम। इस एक दिवसीय राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार में सम्मिलित सभी सम्मानित शिक्षक, शिक्षिकाओं, शोधार्थियों, वैज्ञानिकों, साथ ही डीएवी कॉलेज प्रबंध तंत्र के मार्गदर्शक, हमारे सम्मानित प्रेरणा स्रोत एवं अखंड भारत के ऊर्जावान प्यारे छात्र एवं इस एक दिवसीय राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार में सभी सम्मानित शिक्षक, शिक्षिकाओं, शोधार्थियों, वैज्ञानिकों, साथ ही आप सभी को मेरा सादर प्रणाम एवं वंदन। मैं डॉक्टर स्वप्निल राज दुबे, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर जंतु विज्ञान विभाग, डीएवी कॉलेज कानपुर, आज इस ऐतिहासिक पावन दिवस पर कार्यक्रम संचालन का दायित्व संभाल रहा हूं। यह मेरे लिए एक गर्व का विषय है। महानुभावों, विज्ञान दिवस के इस पावन अवसर पर डीएवी कॉलेज कानपुर और इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस एसोसिएशन के संयुक्त तत्वाधान में इस एक दिवसीय राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार का आयोजन किया गया है। अतः आप सभी को राष्ट्रीय विज्ञान दिवस की बहुत बहुत बधाई एवं शुभकामनाएं। साथियों, आज का दिन बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, इसलिए क्योंकि आज ही के दिन 28 फरवरी 1928 को हमारे देश के एक महान वैज्ञानिक सर सीवी रमन दुनिया को अचंभित कर दिया था, चौंका दिया था, और इसके लिए उनको नोबेल पुरस्कार से भी सम्मानित किया गया। भारत रत्न सर सीवी रमन ने गुलाम भारत में जन्म लेने के बावजूद भी अपनी काबिलियत के दम पर न सिर्फ भारत में बल्कि पूरी दुनिया में अपना नाम उन्होंने उजागर कर दिया। आपको जानकर यह हर्ष होगा कि इस ऐतिहासिक डीएवी कॉलेज में उन्होंने कुछ दिनों तक प्रवास किया और अपने शोध कार्यों को, हमारे शोध कार्यों को और गति प्रदान करी। महानुभावों, जैसे कि हमारी परंपरा रही है कि विद्या की देवी मां सरस्वती जी का सर्वप्रथम आशीर्वाद प्राप्त कर कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करते हैं, जो हमें हर क्षण हर पल ऊर्जा प्रदान करती हैं। आइए हम सभी माता का वंदन करते हैं।
या कुन्तेतु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर
माता को प्रणाम है। अब हम अपनी यादों को ताज़ा करते हुए स्मृति शेष स्वर्गीय डॉक्टर नागेंद्र स्वरूप जी, जिनको हम सभी प्यार से भैया जी भी कहते थे, अपने श्रद्धा सुमन अर्पित करते हैं। उनका स्मरण ही हमें सभी कार्यों को सफलतापूर्वक करने का बल और साहस आज भी देता है।
पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते।
पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते।
अब मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं महाविद्यालय को गौरव के उच्चतम शिखर पर स्थापित करने के लिए सदैव तत्पर रहने वाले ऊर्जावान, बिना थके काम करने वाले, साहस से भरे प्राचार्य प्रोफेसर अरुण कुमार दीक्षित जी को कि वो आए और हमारे अतिथियों का स्वागत करें। आदरणीय प्राचार्य जी।
Very good morning to all of you. It is quite heartening for me as the principal of this Heritage College to acknowledge that our campus never misses to keep date with important national, international or regional occasions. Academic ambience of the campus is kept abuzz with benefiting engagements by hugely endowed and erudite faculty members of the college, now and then, here and there. Last year, we had kept date with National Science Day by organizing an engaging brainstorming on contributions of India to the world of science. Continuing the tradition, we are here again with a new topic of emerging areas in science. To mark the same occasion this year too, I heartily welcome you all to this great event being organized under the aegis of the Kanpur chapter of the Indian Science Congress Association. With a deep and humble homage to the noble soul of late Dr. Nagen Swarup ji, whose endearing and caring persona keeps us inspired to give our best. I bear my heart to welcome Madam Kumkum Swarup ji, the incumbent secretary of our Board of Management, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Saxena ji, General President, Science Congress Association, special guest Professor H.S. Yadav ji, Director NERIST, Arunachal Pradesh, and Professor P.N. Pandey, Director BIET Jhansi, Engineer Gaurav Swarup ji, Joint Secretary Board of Management of our college. Conveners of the event, Dr. A.K. Saxena ji, who is the convener of ISKA Kanpur chapter as well, and Professor Sudhir Srivastav, Treasurer of ISKA Kanpur chapter and Head Department of Chemistry of this college. Coordinator of the event, Professor D.P. Rao ji, and all other distinguished guests and participants to this eventful occasion. World of science is full of fascinating bewilderments. We have witnessed many sensational technological feats over time, like computers, internet, manned and unmanned space missions, bioinformatics, miracles of nanotechnology, etc., which have made human life easier and more efficient in all walks. The scientists saints in the chain of state-of-the-art laboratories across the world are busily active with their tools to transform human life for ease, efficiency, and comfort. Science breeds science and provides a scope for widening its applied interface to address problems of mankind. Science grows through insightful resolution of the trail of leads which arise in the wake of a discovery of invention. Technological refinement and evolution are a continuous process, and in the process, novelties of ideas and concepts do shape up. We are here to discuss all such scientific trails and novelties as emerging areas in science. Being a scholar of military science, I cannot do full justice with finer scientific details that underlie the emerging areas in science. I can definitely make a fleeting reference to the hot cakes in the emerging areas of science. The foremost of these, with which the tech world is obsessed, is lacing the modern machines with the capability of artificial intelligence. Intelligence is the exclusive preserve of living world which arises in intricately complex neural circuitry. Once technologies succeed in importing intelligence in modern machines, it will herald a new age in human history. It will revolutionize robotic medical technology for flawless precision and will take automation and digitization drive to an unimagined scale of efficiency and delivery. Precise genome editing tools like CRISPR-Cas9 module, which have potentials to revolutionize agronomy and human health for inborn or acquired errors in the script of life called DNA, have lent a manipulative flexibility to molecular biotechnology. Nanotechnology is another area which has revolutionized all fields of science. Medical science has benefited immensely from it for drug delivery and medicine designing. Similarly, there are many more of the kind like organic electronics, quantum biology, synthetic biology, and inception of age of cyborgs, nutrigenomics, etc., which are areas of active research for immense prospects they hold for transforming human life. Our learned resource persons will shed more exciting lights on the topic. I will rest with my part here with a wish that the event turns out a big success in its objective. I warmly congratulate the organizers for having come forth with an engaging event on a very important topic on the auspicious occasion of National Science Day. Once again, I welcome you all to this eventful academic engagement. I express my sincere thanks to you all for a patient audience. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्राचार्य जी। अब मैं इस अवसर पर सेशन की अध्यक्षता कर रही इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस एसोसिएशन की काउंसिल मेंबर एवं डीएवी कॉलेज प्रबंध समिति की सचिव श्रीमती कुमकुम स्वरूप जी को सादर आमंत्रित करता हूं कि आप हमेशा की तरह हम सभी को अपने आशीर्वचनों से अभिसिंचित करें। आदरणीय अध्यक्षा महोदय।
इस व्याख्यान माला में उपस्थित इसका की जनरल प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर विजय लक्ष्मी सक्सेना जी, BIET के डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर PM पांडे जी, NERIST अरुणाचल प्रदेश के डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर HS यादव जी, इसका के एक्स जनरल प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर अशोक सक्सेना जी, प्राचार्य डीएवी कॉलेज प्रोफेसर अरुण दीक्षित जी, इसका के कोषाध्यक्ष सुधीर श्रीवास्तव जी, इस व्याख्यान माला में उपस्थित शिक्षक, शिक्षिकाएं, शोधार्थी, छात्र एवं छात्राएं। अत्यंत हर्ष का विषय है कि ऐतिहासिक डीएवी कॉलेज और इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस एसोसिएशन के संयुक्त तत्वाधान में नेशनल साइंस डे के उपलक्ष्य में व्याख्यान माला का आयोजन किया जा रहा है। 1990 में स्थापित ये कॉलेज स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन, समाज सेवा, शिक्षा के विस्तार, वैज्ञानिक चिंतन के विकास में सदैव अग्रणी रहा है। स्वर्गीय नागेंद्र स्वरूप जी के विजन को महाविद्यालय ने मूल मंत्र मानते हुए शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में नए आयाम स्थापित किए हैं। यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी एवं आदरणीय पूर्व राष्ट्रपति श्री रामनाथ कोविंद जी के ज्ञान स्थली रहा यह डीएवी कॉलेज देश के कई उत्कृष्ट वैज्ञानिक एवं समाज सेविकाओं को इन्होंने दिया है। इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस एसोसिएशन के पूरे देश में विज्ञान के प्रचार प्रसार एवं विकास से उत्कृष्ट सेवा की है। इसका के अनेक विभागों ने विज्ञान के प्रसार में अद्भुत योगदान दिया है। एग्रीकल्चरल साइंस कांग्रेस में किसानों के मध्य कृषि की नवीन संभावनाओं की तलाश, वुमेन साइंस कांग्रेस में महिला के सशक्तिकरण एवं चाइल्ड साइंस कांग्रेस में बच्चों में विज्ञान के प्रति रुचि उत्पन्न करना आदि ऐसे अनेक उदाहरण हैं जिससे इसका के उत्कृष्ट कार्यों का प्रमाण मिलता है। भारत में वैज्ञानिक परंपरा अत्यंत प्राचीन काल से रही है। नालंदा विश्वविद्यालय, तक्षशिला विश्वविद्यालय विश्व में शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में प्रसिद्ध रहे हैं। कौटिल्य, चरक से लेकर जेसी बोस, मेघनाथ साहा, पीसी दे, रामानुजम, होमी भाभा, विक्रम साराभाई आदि वैज्ञानिकों ने संपूर्ण विश्व में भारत का नाम रोशन किया है। हम भारत के प्राचीन ऋषियों से प्रारंभ वैज्ञानिक परंपरा से लेकर आदरणीय अब्दुल कलाम जैसे आधुनिक भारत के वैज्ञानिकों के योगदान पर गर्व करते हैं। यह आने वाली पीढ़ियों के लिए प्रेरणा स्रोत है। आज भारत विज्ञान के नवीन युग में प्रवेश कर रहा है। इस विज्ञान के रचनात्मक और मानव जाति के उत्थान हेतु प्रयोग के समर्थक रहे हैं और रहेंगे। जय जवान, जय किसान, जय विज्ञान मात्र एक नारा नहीं है, बल्कि ये भारत की एक नई पहचान है, जिसका परिचय हम कोरोना जैसे वैश्विक संकट के समय वैक्सीन बनाकर दे चुके हैं। भारतीय संविधान के अनुसार वैज्ञानिक स्वभाव मानवतावाद है तथा जांच और सुधार की भावना विकसित करना हम सभी का कर्तव्य है। इस कर्तव्य का पालन करके ही हम भारत की वैज्ञानिक परंपरा की यथार्थ सेवा कर सकते हैं। आधुनिक भारत में विज्ञान के प्रचार प्रसार में अग्रणी भूमिका निभाने वाले इसका की यह व्याख्यान माला देश में युवाओं के विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में योगदान हेतु प्रोत्साहित करे एवं अपने उद्देश्यों को प्राप्त करे, ऐसी मेरी शुभकामना है। धन्यवाद।
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम। डीएवी कॉलेज परिवार की तरफ से मैं आपको आश्वस्त करता हूं कि हमारा पूरा परिवार आपके दिए गए एक एक वचनों पे अक्षरशः पालन करके इसको गौरव की उच्चतम शिखर तक ले जाने की पूरी कोशिश करेगा। अब मैं
आ रहा है लेकिन
हमारे बीच उपस्थित इस कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ा रही प्रेरणा स्वरूप इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस एसोसिएशन की जनरल प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर विजय लक्ष्मी सक्सेना जी को अपने वक्तव्य के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं। आदरणीय मैडम।
Very good morning to you all present here for this auspicious event. Respected Bhabi ji, Mrs. Kumkum Saroop ji, President of the session, Principal of the DAV College Dikshit ji, Convener of the Kanpur chapter, Dr. Ashok Saxena ji, also the past General President, Treasurer, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Srivastav ji, Coordinator, Dr. D.P. Rao ji, and all the committee members, all the participants, invited speakers, faculty members of the DAV College Kanpur, dear teachers, students, ladies and gentlemen, and media personnel. First of all, I feel privileged and honored to stand before you and have been granted the opportunity to share my views. I am thankful to Kumkum Bhabiji and also to the convener ISKA DAV College chapter and Dr. and the treasurer, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Srivastava for organizing Science Day in a wonderful manner. I'm proud that DAV College has organized National Science Day to encourage students to have a better awareness of science and the latest developments in research to fulfill their quest for science. It seems that the DAV College chapter has a great enthusiasm in organizing this type of events. The theme of the Science Day, this year the theme of the Science Day is Global Science for Global Well-Being. And it is very much relevant for today's world, as scientists all across the globe are trying to tap the unseen benefits of science for global well-being. All the programs and activities revolve around a focal theme selected to focus every year. National Science Day reflects the importance of science in addressing the global issues and promoting well-being worldwide. It also coincides with India's assumption of the presidency of G20, where it will become the voice of the global South, comprising developing countries in Asia, Africa, and South America. Raman was the first on February 28, 1928. Sir C.V. Raman announced the discovery of the Raman effect. For this, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1930. The Raman effect led to the growth of a new discipline, Raman spectroscopy, which has now become a very powerful tool for a wide range of scientific investigation and industrial applications. He was born in Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu on 7th November 1888. Raman was the first Asian and first non-white to get any Nobel Prize in science. He was elected to the Royal Society of London in 1924 and awarded by the British Empire in 1929. Science Day is celebrated annually in February 28 for the discovery. He never stopped learning and doing research. After his retirement in 1948, he established Raman Research Institute at Bangalore and continued to work there till his death on November 7, 1970. In 1954, Raman was awarded the Bharat Ratna and honored with the Lenin Peace Prize in 1957. He never believed that good quality research could be carried out only with the foreign-made instruments. He emphasized on self-reliance in science and technology. Raman also represents an era when the facilities for the education and research were very limited. Yet a large number of scientists did research work of international level. Some of them were J.C. Bose, S.N. Bose, Meghnad Saha, Homi Bhabha, P.C. Ray, and Birbal Sahni. It is now being acknowledged that the J.C. Bose invented wireless, not Marconi. National Science Day was first celebrated in India in 1986, following a request by the National Council for Science and Technology Commission to the Government of India. Since then, the event has been widely celebrated in schools, colleges, universities, and other academic, scientific, technical, medical, and research institutions across the country. It is marked by various science exhibitions, seminars, science competitions, lectures, speeches, essays, and other theme-based science communication activities aimed at promoting scientific awareness. It aims to spread awareness about the importance of science in daily life and to showcase the efforts and achievements in the field of science for human welfare. It also serves as an opportunity to discuss and implement new technologies for the development of science in the country for the welfare of the people. Health and hygiene issues are prime concern for the common people. The daily application of science, like the use of clean drinking water, knowledge to eradicate contagious diseases, We know about the various agriculture practices to increase crop production, the usefulness of biodiversity conservation, etc., should be disseminated to the future generation. In other countries, World Science Day is observed on November 10 each year, as declared by the UNESCO in 2001. The day is dedicated to the promotion of science for peace and development and to emphasize the importance of science in the society. Global science for global well-being is a concept that emphasizes the importance of scientific research and collaboration in improving the overall health and well-being of the people around the world. It recognizes that scientific advancement and discoveries can have a significant impact on human health and quality of life, and that sharing and collaboration on this knowledge can help address global health challenges. It highlights the need for scientists, researchers, and healthcare professionals from different countries to work together to find solutions to global health issues such as infectious diseases, chronic diseases, mental health disorders, environmental health concerns, happiness, personal security, social connectedness for a global well-being. Example of global science collaboration for global well-being include the global effort to develop COVID-19 vaccine and treatments, the Global Burden of Disease study, which aims to quantify the impact of different diseases on population around the world, and the Global Mental Health Alliance, which work to improve access to mental health care services in low and middle income countries. At present, the role of global science for global well-being shall continue to influence lives with each passing day. We must in turn strive towards such developments that will be creating more sustainable global well-being. I hope our experience with today's event will be fruitful and a long-lasting one. I have faith that this event will ignite not only enthusiasm for exchanges and collaboration between academics and industries, but the future of humanity as well. With this, I would like to end the speech and express my gratitude to all for making this event a more memorable one. With these words, I inaugurate the event. Thank you, one and all.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम। अब मैं आज के आयोजन की शोभा हमारे विशेष अतिथिगण प्रोफेसर पुलक मोहन पांडे जी, डायरेक्टर BIET झांसी उत्तर प्रदेश, प्रोफेसर हरदेव सिंह यादव जी, डायरेक्टर NERIST नेरिस्ट ईटानगर अरुणाचल प्रदेश, इस सेमिनार की सार्थकता जिनकी गरिमामयी उपस्थिति से ही सिद्ध होती है। हमारे विशेष अतिथियों को आमंत्रित करने के लिए इस कार्यक्रम के ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी की सदस्य एवं सहयोगी डॉक्टर प्रतिभा त्रिपाठी जी से आग्रह करता हूं कि प्रोफेसर पुलक मोहन पांडे जी का संक्षिप्त परिचय प्रस्तुत कर उन्हें अपने वक्तव्य के लिए आमंत्रित करें। डॉक्टर प्रतिभा त्रिपाठी जी।
Very warm greetings to all present here. It is indeed a great privilege and pleasure for me to introduce our revered guest, Dr. Pulak Mohan Pandey sir. Dr. Pulak Mohan Pandey completed his BTech degree from HBTI Kanpur in 1993, securing first position, and got master's degree from IIT Kanpur in 1995 in manufacturing science specialization. He served HBTI Kanpur as faculty member for approximately 8 years and also completed PhD in the area of additive manufacturing 3D printing from IIT Kanpur in 2003. He joined IIT Delhi as a faculty member in 2004 and at present He is a director at BIET, Bundelkhand Institute of Engineering and Technology, Jhansi. In IIT Delhi, Dr. Pandey diversified his research areas in the field of micro and nano finishing, micro deposition, and also continued working in the area of 3D printing. He supervised 42 PhDs and more than 36 MTech theses in last 10 years, and also filed 22 Indian patent applications. He has approximately 213 international journal papers and 48 cited for more than international national referred conference papers to his credit. These papers have been cited for more than 9,616 times with H index as 50. He received highly commended paper award by Rapid Prototyping Journal for the paper Fabrication of Three-Dimensional Open Porous Regular Structure of PA2200 for Enhanced Strength of Scaffold Using Selective Laser Sintering, published in 2017. Many of his BTech and MTech supervised projects have been awarded by IIT Delhi. He is recipient of Outstanding Young Faculty Fellowship IIT Delhi, sponsored by Kusuma Trust, Gibraltar, and J.M. Mahajan Outstanding Teacher Award of IIT Delhi. His students have won Gandhian Young Technological Innovation Awards in 2013, 2015, 2017, 18, and 20. On behalf of DAV College Kanpur, may I request our honorable guest, Dr. Pulak Mohan Pandey, sir, to address the gathering with his precious words. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Madam, for a very detailed and generous introduction. Just to start with, I would like to thank administration of DAV College, especially Professor Sudhir Srivastava for giving me this opportunity to talk to you this morning in the occasion of National Science. And I could see that a very deliberated discussion has already been done in the what is the importance of Science Day. And I am definitely very delighted to know that our great guest, Dr. Raman, has been a part of, that is DAV College Kanpur. So it gives me another sense of pleasure as well as proud that today I have been given this opportunity to discuss about certain aspects and to talk about certain research areas in which I have contributed for last maybe around 15 to 20 years at IIT Delhi, and also contributed some in the different areas of micro and nano manufacturing, along with the manufacturing sciences and 3D printing aspects. So I'll share my screen and then I'll discuss the topic. So somebody can, you can please enable the screen sharing. Yeah. Please enable the screen sharing.
I'm making you host, sir.
Yeah.
Now can you can share, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So let me welcome everybody on this National Science Day. The title of my talk, which I have kept for today, is Nation Building by Science, Technology, and Smart Manufacturing. So today, as we have entered an era when we are talking about smart manufacturing, so let me come to that. Actually, the smart manufacturing is nothing but the fourth industrial revolution. Now, let me first try to correlate that today, whatsoever we have achieved, and that may be through engineering or technology, and which is finally ending up with manufacturing very interesting and very useful products for our society. The root has been the development of science. So even if we talk about today, the first industrial revolution, that has taken place long back, I'll say more than 200 years back, when the steam engine was developed by James Watt. Now, if we try to get into the science which has been there to develop the steam engine, the various principles of thermodynamics, the laws of thermodynamics, the available energy, the exergy, and the concepts of pure substances, they have gone into the development of steam engine. Now, this steam engine development has actually contributed in a manner that the human muscular efforts, or at that time, the various kettles which were used to derive various primitive machines, they were replaced by the steam engine energy or steam engine power. And of course, it was also the time when it is because of the various processes which were developed for the metallurgy of iron, we could develop strong materials, I must say, the various alloys, the concept of mining or the development of mining that took place, and also these primitive machines, tools, they were converted to power-driven machines. The second industrial revolution that has taken place afterwards, that has become possible when a continuous production came into the existence, and that has become possible because of the technological electrification, mass production, globalization, and of course the development of the telegraph, gas and water supply. Now, if we try to see the third revolution, that is not too old, that is around mid-1970s or so, when the electronics has taken its shape and we could develop a microprocessor, which finally ended up with development of various computational facilities, the digital manufacturing that has come into the place, the concept of robotics has come into the place, and we could also develop, say, various low-cost automation facilities as well as the facilities which are related to programmable logic controllers. So the third industrial revolution, one can correlate it to the substitution of human mental effort, where the mental effort was replaced by the computation or the microprocessor or application of microprocessor. And finally, we are able to produce products which are more accurate, more repeatable, the defects were minimum, and they were more reliable. Today it is the time when we are talking about fourth industrial revolution, which is also we can call as a industry 4.0 or fourth smart manufacturing. Like these are the three titles which have been given for this. And today what we are talking about, a manufacturing facility or maybe some other processing facility which is being driven by a digital data through cyber physical system. Means it is the information technology which is playing a vital role in terms of controlling processes, in terms of controlling manufacturing. So it is the cyber physical system which remains at the core of this smart manufacturing. So autonomous machines, advanced robotics and cobotics, big data analytics, Internet of Things, cloud computing, machine learning and AI, they are the various tools which actually are being used in order to have these systems to be in place. Today, we are actually living in the era of smart manufacturing or Industry 4.0. Now, if we try to compile all these activities over 200 to 250 years, the basics have been the physical sciences, the mathematical sciences, or we can say sometimes even the biological sciences. Now today, the various computational facilities which we see may be based on machine learning or artificial intelligence, maybe the Internet of Things. Lot of computational mathematics whose base is the abstract mathematics or the fundamental mathematics that has been at the root. So the contributions of science has been always there, which have been converted in a very precise manner in terms of manufacturing technologies or technologies to convert it to useful product. So if we try to see the timeline, it was the end of the 18th century when the first industrial revolution took place by the development of steam engine. Beginning of the 20th century, it was the continuous production concept that has come, and the substitution of human mental effort that was because of the development of microprocessor through the use of electronics and IT, which further led to the progression in the autonomous production, that has happened in the beginning of 1970s or so. And today we are talking about the systems which are cyber physical based systems, that is an age of Industrial Revolution 4th. So let me briefly tell you that what exactly is the cyber physical system. Today it is the time when the information has to be digital in nature. Like more or more information in a digital form, you're more stronger will be the nation. That's what was one statement given by our Honorable Prime Minister, that more and more digital information, digital data you have saved, which can be used for various purposes. So today, if we talk about our various products, and what is the required is that you have to compute. Now, computation means the huge digital data set we are having. For producing a particular component, you need to have certain algorithms, which may be big data analytics, which may be data digging techniques, which may be finally sorting out the data using optimization algorithms or AI or machine learning techniques, which is useful for a particular product. Then this data is to be communicated to a proper location, because this distributed manufacturing concept, which we are talking today, that this data through information technology will go to the various machines, which may be physically present at variety of locations, and then these machines will be controlled and coordinated by the various means where the automation technologies are in place. So we are having the Industry 4.0 protocols for the communication. Now here we have to see that everywhere the different branches of science, they are working at the root, and we are able to convert finally them into technology and useful products. So if we try to see the today's concept of manufacturing, I believe that some of you might have already visited one or two automobile companies. Maybe in Kanpur also, like there are certain companies like LML is one of them, where you can observe such kind of manufacturing scenario. This is a rigidly sequenced car or automobile manufacture on a production line. Now here you will observe that if you have to assemble an engine, or if you assemble a scooter or a bike, there will be maybe more than 50 or 100 such workstations along a line. And there will be one worker, there will be one technician who will be skilled and who is likely to do a particular job in a very systematic and accurate manner in a given time. So that's how these workstations will keep on continuously moving. And at the end of the day, you will be able to produce maybe 500 bikes or maybe 200 cars. That's what is the rigidly sequenced production line. Now, if you try to see some more development in this direction, the flexibility, because these production lines are rigid, we have to bring flexibility into it in terms of change of the model, in terms of change of the certain assemblies or sub-assemblies of a particular automobile. So here again, I'll say that so many algorithms, so many computational, mathematics is required in order to plan all these activities. So if we try to see that the concept of Industry 4.0, here these workstations are not likely to be, on one sequence, the way it has been in the rigid sequenced production line. Rather, they'll be decoupled, fully flexible, highly integrated. So here you can see as a schematically, it has been shown in this particular slide that these workstations may be physically located at different locations. The flow of the inventory or the components may be, to us, it may look a random movement. However, definitely there will be certain rules or guidelines which are going to govern this motion so that in a very optimum manner, you are able to produce a component. And these workstations may be physically located at different locations. And these workstations will also be talking with each other. There will be communication through a typical smart manufacturing protocol communication port, and you are able to produce the components. Now, if you are having this kind of manufacturing system, this is likely to be fully flexible, like different car models in a particular premises, or along with their sister concerns. This may be done, and you are able to say produce few cars of one model, different model of again a few number of cars. That's how the flexibility one can achieve. So if we try to see the principles of smart processing, even the concept of the smart manufacturing, or the concept which I am talking about today, that is also applicable to education technology. Interoperability, then virtualization, decentralization, real-time capability, service orientation, and modularity. These are the 6 design principles which are very much dominant when you are actually trying to develop a product which is to be very nicely processed in the scenario of smart manufacturing. So if we try to see the various technologies, you will appreciate that here we talk about big data analytics, autonomous robotics or cobotics. This is collaborative robotics, simulation, system integration in terms of horizontal and vertical, industrial IoT, cyber security, the augmented reality. Now, this augmented reality is a very interesting concept that we can even try to demonstrate a reaction in such a manner that it is not harming the environment, and certain portions of that reactions are real and certain portions of that reaction are virtual. That kind of system is something which is known as augmented reality. This additive manufacturing or 3D printing, which has been actually my research area for last 20 years, this is something which is also known as 3D printing very popularly, which has enormous applications in terms of reverse engineering, in terms of biomedical engineering, in terms of drug delivery, in terms of developing very small components using a two photonic principle, where the drug delivery can be achieved at micron levels, and one can also develop the scaffolds which are as small as few microns. So the concept now today, some of the things you have already observed during the COVID period, and today also the various enterprises, they have already taken this practice ahead. That most of the things, like the concept of work from home, something similar to what I'm going to talk about here, that once you are starting any design activity for any product, in the beginning, it is going to be completely virtual in nature. It will start with the digital world, and when it will enter into the production stage, then you are going to actually enter into the physical world. So that's how most of the work will be decentralized. It may be done at various places, maybe work from home. And finally, when the time will come, you are going to actually start producing the things, and the production may be at various locations, which is integrated, and finally there is going to be an assembly. That's how you are going to have a completely digital enterprise. So the skill set which are required today for smart manufacturing, like everybody does JEE nowadays, they prepare for it and they do these things. The kind of skill sets which is required is complex problem solving, coordinating with others, people management, critical thinking, that is very important for product management, negotiation, quality control, service orientation, decision making, active listening, and creativity. However, when we talk about a completely digital enterprise, which is likely to be very manless kind of environment, the flexibility or the skill set that is required is little different. And you can see here a few new points. One of them is the emotional intelligence. Another is the cognitive flexibility. These are certain new kind of subjects or the skill sets which have to be learned by the student in order to cope up with the situation where you are going to work with a highly integrated kind of manufacturing environment or a system which may be even the educational system. So this kind of system or a manufacturing system is going to impact individual, society. It is going to business, you can always make it out, and of course the economy of a country. So the role, if I would like to conclude here, I would like to say that it is on the route we are having science which is being converted, which is being used, develop a particular technology, and this particular technology is being used to create a product. And today, in order to create a product, the manufacturing which we are talking about, which is actually an integration of variety of physical process, chemical process, biological process, and of course the computational mathematics, where the core is the basic mathematics. So let me wish everybody a very happy National Science Day, and we should wish that we will keep working in the fundamental sciences as well as the applied sciences in order to develop beautiful products for our society. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. So if there's any question or any discussion part, I can take it.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। हाँ, अगर किसी विद्यार्थियों को या सभा में उपस्थित किसी को भी अपने कुछ क्वेश्चंस पुट करने हैं तो वो सर के सामने अपने क्वेश्चंस पुट कर सकता है। औद्योगिक विकास का चरणबद्ध मूल्यांकन जो सर ने इतने अच्छे रूप से किया, इतने आसान शब्दों में हम लोगों के सामने प्रस्तुत किया, ये हमारे लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण था। और आशा उम्मीद करता हूं कि इस सभा में उपस्थित जितने भी हमारे छात्र हैं और जो छात्र इसको ऑनलाइन माध्यम से देश के कोने कोने से सुन रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं, अपने जीवन में इसको उतारेंगे, अपनी शिक्षाओं में इसको लाएंगे और विज्ञान का प्रचार और प्रसार सुनिश्चित करेंगे। आपका पुनः बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर।
Namaskar. Thank you very much for your kind invitation.
थैंक यू वेरी मच। अब मैं इस कार्यक्रम के ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमेटी की प्रतिभा संपन्न सहयोगी डॉक्टर चारू चतुर्वेदी जी से आग्रह करता हूं कि हमारे बीच उपस्थित अतिथि प्रोफेसर HS यादव जी का संक्षिप्त परिचय प्रस्तुत कर उन्हें अपने वक्तव्य के लिए आमंत्रित करें। आदरणीय डॉक्टर चारू चतुर्वेदी।
Thank you, Dr. Swapnil. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are honored to have with us Professor Hardev Singh Yadav, sir, a distinguished academician and a visionary leader. Professor Yadav, sir, is currently serving as the director of Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology, nearest Arunachal Pradesh. Sir completed his MSc in chemistry from DDU Gorakhpur University in 1981 and later obtained his PhD in chemistry from the same university in 1986. He has over 36 years of research and teaching experience. His scholarly achievement extend beyond his teaching experience, as he authored 75 research papers in international referred journals and has given 82 invited lectures in conferences and seminars. He has also supervised the work of 5 PhD students under collaboration and 15 PhD students under independent supervision. Apart from his academic pursuits, Sir has also collaborated with several foreign universities. He has worked with many institutes in various countries, including Poland, UK, and Germany. Professor Yadav, sir, has also worked as an academic counselor for foundation course in science and technology and has been associated with IGNOU Itana. His research areas are varied and include coordination chemistry, green chemistry, catalysis, peroxidase activities in green vegetables, fruits, and clean water technology. In addition, Sir has chaired the State Technical Advisory Committee on Flood Management, Government of Arunachal Pradesh. He has also been a member of the Regional Committee for Science Technology Intervention for Northeast Region. Regretfully, our fleeting moments did not permit to peruse all the laurels. Sir, you have rightfully lit. We are truly honored to have him with us today, and we eagerly await his valuable insights and guidance during his seminar. So, over to you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning and a wonderful day for one and all. I feel highly privileged to be associated with the National Science Day celebration, and I extend our greeting me as a director and on behalf of my institute to DAV College, PG College Kanpur, and our respect to Madam Kumkum Swarup, Secretary BOM, then Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Saxena, General President, Indian Science Congress Association, and Professor PM Pandesab, Director BIET Jhansi, and Professor Arun Kumar Dikshit, Principal DAV PG College Kanpur, and Professor S.K. Srivastava, Treasurer, Indian Science Congress Association, and all the learned colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the students, the delegates, and media friends. In fact, having this opportunity to interact with all of you is going to be a wonderful day for us. And I appreciate that Professor Pandey just gave some highlights on the industry 4.0 and the various aspects briefly. But then I understand that it is again relevant to have the other side of the coin, particularly basic science on the occasion of Science Day celebration. So we all understand that our life, rather origin of life, came into existence when reducive environment on the earth transformed into oxidative environment, and then spontaneously and gradually we have today privilege of having a very rich biodiversity in the country, and which is again able to attract the scientists and technocrats and various domains of life and people interested in towards the biodiversity of the country. Luckily, I am working here in Arunachal Pradesh, so we are very close to very innovative type of biodiversified species, genus, and many more related aspects. So would like to give you some brief on the biodiversity related subjects, and then I will also come back to the oxidative process and how we can make the process of oxidation more viable, eco-friendly, and approaching towards green chemistry requirements using our science. So I request the computer to kindly enable to share the screen.
I'm making you host, sir.
Okay.
Now you can share the screen, sir.
So Dr. Charu expressed my attainments. Would like to mention that when I joined this institute, that is Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology, during or rather on 1st July 1987, it was a novel modular system of education just commenced during 1986. and it is started a new system of education on modular pattern, having 2 years modules of certificate program, that is base module, then 2 years diploma, and 2-year degree modules. But now, and initially it was under the administrative control of Northeastern Council, at that time under Ministry of Home Affairs. But now, after, during 1994, it was taken over by the then MHRD, now it is MOE. And during May 2005, this institute was conferred, deemed to be university status under Section 3 of UGC Act 1956. So I am one of the founder faculty member, and our huge energy and long duration has been consumed in developing this institute from the certificate program in the beginning. Now we have deemed to be university status with engineering, technology faculty, basic science and management. And therefore, we have not been able to produce large number of PhD students and maybe some large number of publications, but we do have some very distinct and quality contribution in basic science. So I start with this small note for the audience, and we come to the various aspect. So the biodiversity and the what is happening, this disturbance? Can we sit right in the screen? Small kar do size. Yes, so biological diversity is variability among living organisms from all sources, including inter alia, terrestrial, marine, and other aquatic ecosystems, and the ecological complexes of which they are part. This includes diversity within species, between species, and of ecosystem. So the certain photographs like showing or demonstrating on the screen are like genetic diversity, species diversity, and ecosystem diversity is displayed. Now we come to global species diversity. So these are the figures where we have shown the number of described species on Earth as per CBD 1992, and then the number is shown. United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity says there are some 13 million species, of which about 1.75 million species were described. IUCN's 2008 Red List of threatened species states that 1.8 million species have been described out of an estimated 5 million to 30 million in existence. Now, the purpose of biodiversity studies is very clear. It's provide accurate, up-to-date information about conditions, trends, and pressures, reports on major causal factors that are influencing environment. It gives a view on effectiveness of responses designed to address change, identify the issues most relevant to the sustainability of the environment, contribute to public understanding of the environment, identify relevant gaps in information, and develop and improve the SOE reporting process, and facilitate policy development at all levels of government. And the agroclimatic zones and associated crops are like under tropical zone, if we consider horticultural crops, lychee, banana, guava, papaya, jackfruit, ginger, turmeric, vegetable, stevia, cinnamon, area, nut, etc. Then subtropical, orange, pineapple, banana, lychee, grapes, large cardamom, black pepper, ginger, vegetables. Then under temperate, plum, pear, peach, walnut, geranium, tomato, vegetables. Then sub-alpine to alpine, apple, walnut, kiwi, pecan, chestnut, cherry, geranium, Texas, ginseng, star anise, saffron, and many more. There are certain important horticultural diversity which is shared on the slide, and threats to biodiversity is a matter of concern, and global diversity is declining at an alarming rate. WWF Living Planet report reveals that global populations of fish, birds, mammals, amphibians, and reptiles declined by 58% between 1970 to 2012, a 2/3 decline in the half century from 1970 to 2020. So it is of great concern. Then here is threats to biodiversity shown in the slides by different regions. Then we also look for benefits of biodiversity. So there are many diverse benefits like ecosystem services, protection of water resources, soil protection, nutrient recycling, pollution breakdown, climate stability, maintenance of ecosystem, recovery from unpredictable events. Then biological resources are like food, medicinal and pharmaceutical drugs, wood products, ornamental plants, breeding stocks, population reservoirs, diversity in genes, species, and ecosystem. And it is also concerning social benefits like research, education, and monitoring, recreation and tourism, and cultural values. And a model for integrating ecosystems, health, human needs, and sustainable economic growth is shown in this slide. Again, we have measure land cover like tropical forest, subtropical forest, pine forest, temperate forest, alpine forest, degraded forest, bamboo forest, grassland, shifting cultivation, or jhum cultivation, which is very popular and common in Arunachal Pradesh. These are shown on the slides. Then we come to economics of biodiversity. So ecosystem provide wide array of goods and services of value. However, provision of ecosystem services often is not factored into important decisions that affect ecosystem. So bioresources having use or non-use values. Use values are like hunting, fishing, bird watching, hiking, or other indirect uses, and non-use values are like associated with actual use or even an option to use. So how to assess the relative importance of ecosystem services? How can we provide rewards for providing ecosystem services? Do we try to evaluate everything in monetary terms? These are the questions to be analyzed by the human population. And then mapping the values like generating and accounting for the full set of services from ecosystem, understanding how provision of services are affected by human actions, evaluating the synergies and trade-offs among different services, understanding the spatial pattern of the production of services, understanding the spatial pattern of benefits from services, and assessing the relative value of services, linking information on provision and value of services to incentives. So the framework for mapping and valuing ecosystem is shown on the slide. Then monetary valuation via markets can be some ecosystem services are traded in markets and have absorbed prices. Value of changes in ecosystem services derived from analysis of changes in consumer and producer surplus, as shown in the example, and then demonstrating the value of ecosystem services is important, can improve human decisions, but valuation by itself does not guarantee better decisions. So many bioresources do not generate a return for the landowner or decision maker. Thus, there must be some form of reward. Otherwise, landowner may choose a destructive land use, as we have here, like jhum cultivation, causing huge pollution in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, role of economic analysis, it can advise decision makers and those who work with them to consider social and economic context, can provide information about the effects or consequences of management actions. Two types of economic analysis is possible. One is economic efficiency and other is economic impacts. And these deserve to be taken care of while dealing with the biodiversity. Then ecosystem services, where we provide services like NT, FPS, food and firewood, etc., timber, medicine, aromatic plants, and other services, supporting services like soil formation, nutrient cycling, provision of habitat, etc., regulatory services like climate regulation, pest control, water purification, pollination, etc., and cultural services like cultural heritage, ecotourism, folklore, spiritual values, etc. These all depends on biodiversity. And here is to show some degradation and density flora and various other species shown here, just to justify the diverse nature. And then economic and environmental benefit of biodiversity is equally important to be taken care, like maintaining biodiversity is essential for organic waste disposal, soil formation, biological nitrogen fixation, crop and livestock, genetics, biological pest control, plant pollution, pollination, and pharmaceuticals. And these are shown, the statistical view are also indicated on the slide. And then hydrological services concern access to clean water with good water quality, secure water supplies, and their use in hydropower generation provides vital inputs to households, industry, farmers, and ecosystems. This underpins economic development as well as human health and quality of life. A reliable, high-quality water supply is vital to the region's industrial competitiveness. Low-cost water from natural flows and built storage facilities enables farmers to provide large range of agricultural products for local and commercial use. Clean and abundant water is in streams, rivers, and lakes provides critical habitat and support functions for aquatic biodiversity and wildlife, which is in turn contribute tourism and recreation activities. These parameters are more relevant, particularly in hilly terrain and the northeast region. ecosystem services and biodiversity in adaptation to climate change is a very important aspect which predict an increasing severity of weather events in the form of storms or droughts depending on location. Regulating services of biodiversity can be harnessed to reduce the impacts of the extremes of weather events, and it can also provide essential regulating services that lessen environmental uncertainty and improve resistance and resilience to disturbances, and can be of help to preserve current years but conserving reserve species that may emerge in case key species are lost with climate change. And carbon storage helps mitigating climate change, protection of great forest carbon stock with the conservation of biodiversity definitely help the reduction of greenhouse gases. And these are furthermore biodiversity aspects on ecosystem contributes to sustainability, like higher or more biodiversity means more sustainable, lower and less biodiversity means less sustainable. And if we look at, say, agriculture, forestry, fisheries, products, stable natural hydrological cycles, fertile soil, a balanced climate, and numerous other indispensable ecosystem services depend on the conservation of biological diversity. It also contributes a variety of food plants, pollination, pest control, nutrient provision, genetic diversity, disease prevention and control, resulting sustainable development. And many aromatic and pharmaceutical industries are based on plants collected from local forest, thereby relying on biodiversity. These resources of region benefit the indigenous communities in terms of monetary return and economic development of the place. This Northeast India, if you look at Northeastern, is approximately 2 to 5 of India's 450 tribes, and it is diverse. It has diverse culture and customs playing important role in understanding biodiversity conservation and management issues. 6 major forest types occur in the region: tropical moist deciduous forest, tropical semi-evergreen forest, tropical wet evergreen forest, subtropical forest, temperate forest, and alpine forest. Some unique families like Nepenthes, Illyciaceae, and Clithraceae are unique in the world, which are reported from this region. The Indian red data, 10% of the total flowering plants in the country are endangered. Of the 1500 endangered floral species, 800 are from Northeast India. So these are some other details, and I to avoid more consumption of time, I am just pausing. Ecotourism in Northeast India is of great concern, which provide a focus on volunteering, personal growth, and learning of different ways to live on the planet, involving travel to destination where flora, fauna, and cultural heritage are the primary attractions. Northeast India tourism constitutes the rich flora, fauna, diverse topography, and ethnic groups. The ethnic, linguistic, and cultural diversity of the region is an astounding, as its lush hills, meandering rivers, and verdant valleys. Ethnically, this region hosts of over 120 tribes and many more sub-tribes, speaking 192 languages and dialects. So it is a very widely diverse culture existing here. Now, Kaziranga National Park, I would like to suggest if somebody visiting Northeast must go through. Then we have 4 types of vegetarian tropical wet, evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, grassland and swamp area. Declared a tiger reserve in 2006 and recognized as an important bird area by BirdLife International for conservation of avifauna species. Elephant ride and jeep safari are a noteworthy tourist attraction to view this Kaziranga National Park. Then there are many other Manas National Park, Orang National Park, and Bhairav Kund is another important place in Arunachal Pradesh. Jatinga, a beautiful hilly place near Haflang town where birds commit suicide here on certain specific days. Chandubi is a wetland with migratory birds is of attraction for the visitors. Tourism in Meghalaya, these are certain important places shown on this slide. So if somebody is coming to Shillong, must see these places. And in Arunachal Pradesh, which is land of rising sun, it is very attractive in terms of wide range of flora and fauna and game viewing in 4 national parks and 7 wildlife sanctuaries and hundreds of orchid species in orchid sanctuary. Eco activities like climbing and trekking in plenty of Himalayan hills that keep tourists engaged while touring Arunachal Pradesh. And some places of interest would be Bhalukpang, Bomdila, Tawang, Tezu, Parsuram Kund, a historical place, Miao, Namdafa, then Itanagar, Jiro, Daporizo, Elang, Pasighat, then Pasighat, Jenging, Yangking, and then Sijusa, Pakhui, and Bhalukpang, TP. And Jiro Valley, Lower Subansiri, you can visit this place and enjoy the natural beauty and biodiversity. These are certain species in South Asia, Southeast and North America, and Tropical America, Mexico, West Indies, and these are shown on the slides. Rhododendron, a primitive group of flowering plants, over 850 species are found in North and Southeast Asia. So these are some wider details in Asian context. And Daphne papyracea, a much branched erect evergreen shrub, belongs to Thermilaceae, and D. papyracea grows at 1800 to 3000 meter altitude and prefers to grow in shade, which is shown in the figure. Texas Wallichinia, evergreen slow growing tree, 10 species and 2 varieties distributed in Asia to Afghanistan through Himalaya to Philippines. So these are some other aspects of biodiversity. Coptis Tita, medicinal, vulnerable, and threatened horde, and there are many more shown, like the applications are in the area of antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, anti-neoplastic, anti-hypertensive, anti-oxidative, and so and so. And how do ecosystem relate to business? So that is very important because Northeast is yet to be harnessed and rather explored fully for business domain. So business impact on ecosystem and ecosystem services, and ecosystem exchange creates business risk and opportunities. So these two has to be in equilibrium without disturbing the ecosystem, which is need and challenge today. What can we do business right now? So we can measure, manage, and mitigate risks and impacts, proactively address risks and explore opportunities, undertake corporate ecosystem valuation to quantify business risks and opportunities, innovate and lead the development of markets for ecosystem services, eco-efficient goods, services, and technologies. We can support a smart ecosystem regulation that reverses degradation and levels the playing field for all, encourage suppliers and purchasers to adopt best practices and enter into creative partnership with municipalities and governments, NGOs, scientific community, and many more. So I don't go to summary. I come to the other important aspect on the National Science Day celebration, which I mentioned in the beginning, that when or rather since the origin of life, which took place with the process of conversion of reducible environment on the earth to oxidative environment, and you and all of us realize, and many yoga guru they suggest that we should increase the intake of oxygen. So it clearly indicates the importance of oxidation and the intake of oxygen, because with the increase of oxygen, biodiversity increases, and therefore the life value increases, and we become more rich in various aspects, of which our country is proud of globally. So I will give you some details in a brief manner about the peroxidase enzymes. These are very universal in nature in terms of occurrence. Rather, they exist in all the green plants, not only plants, rather in all the parts, but their content or quantity of distribution may differ from even within a plant in different parts of the plant. So these peroxidases are of great importance, which help us to achieve various oxidation processes within green chemistry domain, which is a challenge and which is focus of the scientific community, particularly in chemical and biological sciences. The reactive oxygen species are generated and come out of drought conditions due to heat, due to cold, due to wounding, due to pathogen and herbivores, pollutants, light, and salt. So we can see here the reactive oxygen species are produced through various ways and means, as demonstrated on this slide. I move to the other aspect where phytolexins are produced after oxidation, and peroxidases in the plant defense reactions, they generate reactive oxygen species which are oxidative burst, and they help to come to defense mechanisms, and the substrates which are subjected to oxidations. They result polymerization of cell wall compounds leading to lignification, suberization, and diferrulic bonds, isotretinoin bridges, and which provide defense, particularly in the plants. And then they also are primary part of the cell wall in the plants, and they are specific cell wall construction purpose and regular cellular growth. So this is a brief cycle of pathogenesis related proteins and then signaling pathways. The peroxidases are broadly heme peroxidase and non-heme. Under heme peroxidase, we have cyclooxygenase superfamily and peroxidase catalase superfamily. And under non-heme, we have thiol peroxidase, then haloperoxidase, alkyl hydroperoxidase, and NADH peroxidase. And again, the peroxidase under PCOX, we have animal peroxidases, and non-animal peroxidases fall under class 1 peroxidase, cytochrome, and other related one, and then class 2 lignin peroxidase and ascorbate peroxidase, and then peroxidases from the horseradish sources. And the catalytic cycle basically results like peroxidase interact with hydrogen peroxide to give compound 1, which interacts with AH2 to give compound 2 and a free radical AH dot, and then compound 2 interacts with AH2 to again regenerate peroxidase and free radical AH dot. And the role of peroxidase, you can see compound 2 is leading iron 4 being converted to iron 3, and this iron 3 with the help of hydrogen peroxide, which is mild oxidizing agent, is again converted to iron 4 oxidation state, resulting water, which is eco-friendly in nature. And this compound 1 is converted into AH dot, that is free radical, forming iron 4 compound again. And the compound 1 was in fact cation. So this is the cycle which works with the help of hydrogen peroxide and involving peroxidase from plant sources. These are some 3D structure of peroxidase. Importance of peroxidase lies like primary function is to oxidize hydrogen donors at the expense of peroxidase. Horseradish peroxidase is a classic heme enzyme having widespread use in pollutant control, biomedical research, and organic synthesis. Most peroxidases are able to oxidize a variety of substrates of widely different structures, varying from halide ions to hydroquinones to aromatic azo compounds, which have got pharmaceutical applications. Peroxidases also perform a variety of physiological functions like lignification of cell wall. They also degrade chlorinated alkanes and alkenes, and they are used in the degradation of chlorinated insecticides. They are also used as biocatalyst for synthetic applications in organic transformations, resulting pharmaceutically important compounds. Now, I would like to refer, this is cucumber. The Cucumis sativus was used to extract crude peroxidase, and then it was purified, and then we characterized the enzyme activity, and then we studied the rate of reaction in presence of hydrogen peroxide, vanadium pentoxide, vanadium sulfate, and oxovanadium or vanadilyl acetonate. And these are certain procedure how we play with hydrogen peroxide. And this is a model reaction, guaiacol reduced and colorless, shown in the test tube in the left side. And when peroxidase enzyme is added, then we get guaiacol oxidized amber, and it is converted, guaiacol is converted into tetraguaiacol, which is reddish brown in the right side of the test tube. The chemical composition is like this. Guaiacol is converted, which is colorless, into tetraguaiacol brown. Now this is to show the optimum pH and optimum temperature for the peroxidase isolated from the sample. And this is Michaelis-Menten A and double reciprocal B. A and B, there are two plots. So B is plots using guaiacol as the variable substrates, and the composition of the reaction mixture is indicated at the bottom, and Km value was found to be 1.8 millimole. This is again another result with different composition, and here is spectra of tetraguaiacol in the presence of hydrogen peroxide, and in the left side is pure pure guaiacol. And when we treat with hydrogen peroxide, we get the spectrum and conversion in the guaiacol into tetraguaiacol in this manner. In the different time frame, the plots are shown on this slide. The rate of reaction was found to be with vanadium pentoxide, hydrogen peroxide, vanadilyl acetonate, and vanadilyl sulfate as values shown on the slide and in the graph. Here I would like to mention that the similar oxidation process were also attempted when I was associated with the Wrocław University in Poland in the group of Professor Jacek Bohosky. They had a very strong group in organic synthesis, and particularly the catalysis process for organic transformations. So various organoselenium compounds, particularly arene selenic acid, diaryl diselenides, and benzoyl-C-selenazole 3,2-H-ones have been used as catalyst for hydroperoxide oxidation of broad spectrum of different organic substrates. And then we also tested with de-alkylation of 1,4-dialkoxyarenes using tertiary butyl hydroperoxide in the presence of selenium catalyst as detailed in the next slide. So here I would like to mention that instead of using hydrogen peroxide, we used tertiary butyl hydroperoxide, where we get the in place of water we get butyl alcohol, which is also eco-friendly and not of much disastrous effect. So these were certain reactions as detailed. The substrate is 1A, and then the product is 2 on the product side, and the tertiary butyl hydroperoxide was used as the medium, and we used large number of category 1 starting from say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it was 7 diselenide polymeric catalyst which gave best result for this conversion. And it was, the reaction scheme was under green chemistry domain. Now you can see the result 7. It gave 100% conversion, results of oxidative conversion of the starting material into the product. And the product to be noted is a vitamin K3. So some other reactions were also tried with selenium diselenide catalyst, polymeric species 7, and we got these conversions. So it is very clearly visible that the oxy-RL carboxy groups in the left side are converted into ones, ketones, and which are starting materials for various pharmaceuticals products. And these all conversions were achieved within green chemistry domain. We also had opportunity in collaboration with Professor David Garner of University of Manchester at UK. He was having a mega project under European Commission on amavadine chemistry, and amavadine is oxobenedium 4 complex, rather vanadium 4 complex with dihydroxy immunopropionic acid ligand in 1:2 ratio. And amavadine was natural product, and its structure was a problem in the among the scientists of European community for 2 decades, starting from 70 to 90. And then it could be resolved with Professor David Garner when we came out with some EPR studies on the natural amavadine. And simultaneously, I also worked hard to get the molybdenum analog of amavadine, which is having 4 centers, RR, SS, RS, RS, R4S, R4R. So it is depending on the experimental conditions, we get different types of species, which is, and it's this single crystal structure is also worked out and shown on this slide. It is going to be more technical, so I am not giving much time on it because only chemistry people may be able to understand who are concerned with the inorganic chemistry. Now, the cyclic voltammetry studies of the molybdenum analog of amavadine, which I got the credit to synthesize and develop, rather isolate single crystal, and we got the X-ray studies on the molecular level, identifying atoms and their bond angles and bond lengths. The molecule was very wonderful in the sense that normally this molybdenum analog is a molybdenum 5th complex of dihydroxy immunodipropionic acid. And it is reported in literature widely that molybdenum 5th species is versatile and it polymerizes. But contrary to the report in literature, we could isolate this species which was not polymerizing, and it had a wonderful 2-electron redox reversible process. So the molybdenum 5th had ability to be oxidized to molybdenum 6th, coming back again to molybdenum 5th, and then could be reduced to molybdenum 4 and again reversible, attaining molybdenum 5th center. So it was a very wonderful molecule and very versatile in redox chemistry and being used as a catalyst now for synthesis of organic products. The modern emphasis, I will say, on peroxidases is that within the Northeast or even in the whole country, we have variety of, green plants, vegetables, fruits, and to be noted that peroxidases are universally present. Now, what we need to do is that we try to identify the rich source of peroxidase, and then we can extract crude enzyme from the rich source, and then enzyme can be purified and can be used as a oxidizing agent for organic transformation reactions in the pharmaceutically important products and pharmaceutical industries, besides many other applications as shown on this slide. Here is one more example on the same line, that is Lupha actangula. Normally in Uttar Pradesh we say taroi, and there is another species also which we call in our local language nenua. So this again the nenua is called Lupha cylindrica, and this taroi is Lupha actangula. So these are two very rich sources of peroxidase which we have identified in my group at NERIST, and we have isolated the peroxidase from these rich sources, and we used various organic transformation reactions. The protocol was same with for testing and identifying the rich source, guaiacol converted into tetraguaiacol, but then various other organic transformations were achieved, and cyclic voltammetry studies were also conducted, and the oxidative potential windows were found quite comfortable if we use the enzyme isolated from these species. And cyclic voltammogram of the tetraguaiacol and guaiacol is shown here in the presence of S2O2. And one more oxidizing agent, ceric ammonium nitrate, is also very effective catalyst to oxidize. So if we use ammonium ceric nitrate, results are much more good. So these are the similar studies. This is with ceric ammonium nitrate in the presence of molybdenum peroxidase activity is lower down compared to ceric. So what I just want to emphasize that, as I mentioned earlier in the slide, that ceric ammonium nitrate is proved to be a wonderful agent for oxidizing agent. And these are some rates values versus time plot, and oxidation of iron and iron 2 and manganese 2 are also achieved, and haloperoxidase activities were also noted, where enzyme peroxidase with the help of hydrogen peroxide and using potassium bromide, potassium chloride, potassium iodide could be brominated or chlorinated and iodinated in the organic synthesis. So Lupha actangula is a better source of peroxidase, having 9 enzyme unit per milliliter. It is a very high value. The enzyme efficiency efficiently oxidize guaiacol, iron 2, manganese 2 with oxidation potential of 0.575 volt for guaiacol and 0.594 for vanadium. For iron 2, UV visible analysis indicated that ceric ammonium nitrate can substitute peroxidase enzyme under optimized conditions. Rather, it works better. Ceric ammonium nitrate acts as a co-catalyst by enhancing the activity twice. The enzyme with hydrogen peroxide and KBr KCl-Ki is a possible eco-friendly reagent for halogenation reactions in organic synthesis. Vanadium pentoxide in combination with hydrogen peroxide features mild reaction conditions, short reaction times, high efficiency, cost effectiveness, and facile isolation of the desired products. So these are highlights of this work. And again, coming to the origin of life, as I mentioned, with the grace of God, we have emerged, starting from origin of life to today's world, when we have very diverse nature and biodiversity all around, and our country being very lucky to have all kind of biodiversity throughout the country, on which the whole world is having eye, and therefore we must explore our biodiversity for the human welfare, with adequate care of green chemistry requirement while doing science. And even for the technology friends, I would like to invite their attention that any action arising or originating from any laboratory workshop must be very carefully and making sure that we are harnessing the nature and biodiversity with care, so that our younger generation, which is growing, or the generation which is yet to come, will have not any difficulty in days to come. I think I have taken much time. I hope the students will take care of the points which I have briefly demonstrated. I was speedy somewhere because of limitation of time. So thank you very much. Over to host.
Sir, stop sharing the screen.
Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for making me part of your program.
Please unmute yourself. Dr. Swapnil, please unmute yourself. Yeah, you can.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। जैव विविधता पर विस्तृत विवरण आप लोगों ने सुना, और जैव विविधता के बाद जैव रसायन के सूक्ष्म टॉपिक को आपने बहुत ही गहराई से सर के द्वारा पढ़ा, जाना, समझा। ग्लोबल बायोडाइवर्सिटी और इंडियन डाइवर्सिटी के बारे में भी आप लोगों ने बहुत कुछ जाना। भारत की विविधता के बारे में आपको पता ही है, पूर्वोत्तर राज्यों में जैव विविधता को देखते ही बनता है, और स्वस्थ बायोडाइवर्सिटी से ही एक स्वस्थ समाज की संरचना या संकल्पना को हम देख सकते हैं। आप सभी का खास तौर से सर का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अगर छात्रों में कोई प्रश्न हो तो वो अभी पूछ सकते हैं सर से। आइए।
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन पलक सर से है, फिर बाद में सर मैं यादव सर के पास आऊंगा। सर माय नेम इज नीतीश, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ जूलॉजी सर, MSc। सर मेरा पुलक सर से ये क्वेश्चन है, अभी उन्होंने इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन के बारे में बताया 4.0, उन्होंने आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के बारे में बताया, जिसमें रोबोटिक्स, ऑटोमेटेशन और साइबर के बारे में बताया, लेकिन सर प्रॉस तो उन्होंने दे दिया कि प्रॉस क्या है कैसे, लेकिन कौन उन्होंने नहीं बताया। अगर हम आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की तरफ बढ़ते जा रहे हैं और मतलब बल्कि का प्रोडक्शन करते जा रहे हैं ऑटोमोबाइल्स का, लेकिन जो
Sir is not connected with us. You can directly ask the question with Professor H.S. Yadav, sir.
Okay, sir.
I will convey your question to the sir and we'll get you back.
ओके सर, यादव सर, फर्स्टली सर ने जो तिरोई के बारे में बताया, मैं उनसे कहना चाहूंगा कि हमारे यहाँ तिरोई का चटनी बहुत पसंद है। हेलो सर, हमारे यहाँ तिरोई का चटनी बहुत पसंद है सर।
पूछिए, आप पूछिए।
सर जैसे मणिपुर है, सिक्किम है, जो 7 सिस्टर्स कहलाते हैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन में, जिस प्रकार से सिक्किम ने सर अपना ऑर्गेनिक स्टेट्स ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग में ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में अपना कायम बनाए रखा, वैसे सर हम जो यूपी में आते हैं, जैसे हम अपना जो ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग की तरफ इस बार बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। जैसे सर मैं बिलोंग करता हूँ मिर्जापुर और बुंदेलखंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट से। नॉर्मली सर वहाँ पे जो फर्टाइल लैंड्स इनफर्टाइल लैंड्स है सर, हम अपनी तरफ ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग को कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं सर?
नहीं, ठीक है। देखिए, इसके लिए तो बहुत सारे मेथडोलॉजी डेवलप हो रहे हैं एंड दे आर अराउंड, मेनी पीपल हैव ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग। आप उनके फार्म पर जा सकते हैं, उनसे माइनर डिटेल्स ले सकते हैं। बट कंपेयरिंग टू फर्स्ट, यू करेक्ट दैट नाउ अर्लियर इट वाज 7 सिस्टर, नाउ विद एडिशन ऑफ सिक्किम वी हैव 8 स्टेट्स इन नॉर्थ ईस्ट। ठीक है, तो ये आप ध्यान रखिएगा कि 8 स्टेट हैं हमारे, और इन 8 स्टेट में जो बायोडाइवर्सिटी, ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग और इनका जो टोपोग्राफी है, एक्चुअली दे आर क्लाइमेटिकली वेरी इन ए वेरी एडवांटेजियस स्टेज एंड you know even Arunachal Pradesh being hilly region, I mean it is very difficult to find plain land for agriculture, but they are producing large quantity of fruits like apple, orange, kiwi, and they are exporting, and their farmers are now becoming very rich. So we also need to look into that, what we can produce in our Uttar Pradesh. And as our Prime Minister has also emphasis, and it was already a drive was created, rather initiated, that we should try by our actions and intervention of science and technology to increase the earnings of the farmers. It was targeted to be twice by 22. Now many people have taken initiative. Those who have taken initiative, they are earning much better now. But then the larger population still is waiting, or they need to be encouraged to come in line. And until and unless we come to a level when our produce is value added and exported abroad, I think we may not be able to get good prices or the attractive prices. So you have touched a very relevant topic. I always encourage my students here, and particularly agriculture engineering department, that when the day will come when people will love to go for farming, and the so-called white-collared people, either in organized sector or unorganized sector or in government offices, whenever they try to explore relations for their daughters or for their son, they always look for some person who is employed. But I am looking for and dreaming for the day when people will love to identify relations in the farmers' villages and farmers' family. So that can only happen when what you are having, aspiration, that how we can increase the earning mode of the farmers in our particularly Uttar Pradesh. See, Punjab is doing much better. So why Uttar Pradesh cannot? But then please remember that we have very rough and tough climatic conditions. During summer, maybe 2-3 months, we do not dare to come out in the farmhouse. and then during winter, maybe for a month, there is no sunrise visible, and then people are confined to the rooms and heaters and so and so. So we cannot compare with the Sikkim or Arunachal Pradesh because their population is also very rare. Even in Assam, the land is very huge, the population is very less. So people are very rich. Their normal life is much better than our, employed people, even those who are involved in farming. The peace, the kind of life they live, the kind of day-to-day activity they are involved in. So they are much more comfortable because they are climatically gifted, God gifted. But then in Uttar Pradesh also, we must identify certain areas where we can do value addition, where we can do export of our indigenous products, local products, and can help farmers and the people who are not having, job for their hands to explore their energy and dissipate their energy and make a change.
सर जैसे अभी इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन के बारे में मैं पलक सर ने बताया, सर ने मतलब उन्होंने इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन
that is one area, but please remember that 4.0 revolution is available with the multinational companies and very hi-fi and sophisticated people confined within the hands of very less number of mega players. So until and unless that manufacturing technology comes down to a graduate or postgraduate, and the facilities are created so that they can use those technology and come out with their products, the situation remains confined within the big hands. So that needs to be percolated down. For that, in fact, attempts are being made, and this is why in new education policy, Kaushal Vikas, entrepreneurship, and vocal for local is being emphasized, and Indian knowledge system is also being emphasized. So all these things must emerge in a rapid manner in order to bring down the technology described by Professor Pandey for industrialization. But it will take little time. Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, अगर मुझे मिलना हो आपसे तो मैं कैसे मिलूं?
You can talk to me anytime like this, over phone and video conferencing, or if you desire to visit Arunachal Pradesh, you are most welcome. Come to us. I will host you.
I already will visit, sir, in Tawang region and Bomdila region, sir.
Okay, you come to Itanagar first.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर.
नमस्कार आप सबको.
अब मैं इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस एसोसिएशन कानपुर चैप्टर के ट्रेजरर, हमारे महाविद्यालय के वरिष्ठतम शिक्षक छत्रपति साहू जी महाराज विश्वविद्यालय कानपुर के फैकल्टी ऑफ साइंस के डीन प्रोफेसर सुधीर कुमार श्रीवास्तव जी को धन्यवाद ज्ञापन के लिए सादर आमंत्रित करता हूं. आदरणीय सर.
Honorable Madam Kumkum Sarup ji, Secretary Board of Management, DAV College, and Council Member of ISCA. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Saxena, General President, ISCA. Our special guest, Professor P.M. Pandey, Director, DIET Jhansi. Professor H.S. Yadav, Director, NERIST, Arunachal Pradesh. Ex-General President, Dr. Ashok Saxena. Professor Arun Kumar Dikshit, Principal, DAV College. My colleagues, researchers, and dear students. It is a matter of pride for me that on behalf of DAV College Kanpur and Indian Science Congress Association, I have been accorded the opportunity to stand before this august gathering of scientists and researchers to extend the vote of thanks. This lecture series is being organized in the name of legendary Dr. Nagen Sarup, whose vision for education and administrative acumen and capability as a mentor and guardian is well known to us. The lecture series organizes humble tribute to the memory of Karm Yogi Dr. Nagen Sarup ji. We are fortunate to have Mrs. Kumkum Sarup with us, whose presence is enough to infuse confidence in us. Her reassuring smile, affectionate words have soothing effect on the atmosphere all around. She is always with us in our tough time. Kindly accept our sincere thanks. I am grateful to express my deepest thanks to Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Saxena, General President of Indian Science Congress Association, for guiding us and providing perfect environment, which has been real motivation for all of us. Please accept our sincere thanks for always being a guiding line for us. I am thankful to Professor P.M. Pandey, Director, BIET, Jhansi, for his sincere and untiring efforts for the cause of research in field of science. He is a very old friend of mine and has always extended his helping hand when we need him. I thank Professor H.S. Yadav for his stewardship, support, vision, and commitment. My sincere gratitude for the valuable time he has given to us. My sincere gratitude to the principal, Professor Arun Kumar Dikshit ji, for supporting us and making the event successful in short span of time. I thank all the distinguished invitees here, accepting our invitation, and all good hearts who work behind the screen. I am also thankful to Dr. Surendra Pratap Singh, Dr. D.P. Rao, Dr. Raju Saxena for working hard to make this event successful. I am thankful to Dr. Sapnil Dwivedi for his decent comparing. I am also thankful to Dr. Jiten Mohan, Head of Department Botany, for his support and help. I owe special gratitude to all of us who have worked hard to ensure that this occasion becomes memorable success. I thank the media person for covering the event. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you so much.
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। इस सफलतम राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार का समापन हम अपने राष्ट्र के प्रति भक्ति भावना के साथ करेंगे। अतः आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि राष्ट्रगान के सम्मान में अपनी अपनी जगह पर खड़े होकर राष्ट्रभाव समर्पित करें।
बंद कर लीजिए। अभी हमको
जय गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 जय।
आप सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
So allow me to end the meeting. बंद कर दीजिए।
हाँ, बंद कर।